Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. I wanted to take this opportunity and show off to you guys the update on my Spyderco Nirvana. And the reason why I'm not wearing any rings today, as well as why are my fingers like red at certain spots, it's because, wow, look at this. It's because I literally just finished weaving a couple of bracelets. This one was a little bit ambitious on my part. Like, this is the first time I'm trying out an advanced stitched king cobra weave. And then I decided that I wanted to take a video to share with you guys the update on my Spyderco Nirvana. Yes, it is finally back. You notice I never used it for any unboxing purposes. That's because I sent the blade to some amazing people for a regrind. Quick backstory for you guys. The reason why I sent it for a regrind is because I personally do not like bead blasted finishes, and unfortunately the Spyderco Nirvana came with almost everything with a bead blast finish. That means the scales as well as the blade itself was in bead blasted finish. Now, from my understanding, bead blasting does make metals a little bit more prone to rusting because it actually creates little pockets where, you know, moisture could seep into and get stuck in there. And if it's on titanium, like, the scales is not as bad. I just personally also don't like the texture of bead blasted finishes. So I stone washed this, but I wasn't intending to stone wash the blade because I know myself and I don't have that skill to resharpen a blade. And you know, this knife costs about like $400. I wasn't gonna risk completely screwing up the edge on this, so I decided to leave it to a professional. And so I reached out to Josh over at RAZOREDGEKNIVES, and this is my final result. Here we go. Look at how beautiful this thing is. That's a crazy regrind. And let me tell you guys, okay, I'm gonna just mention the price so that we could put that out of the way, okay? So first of all, this regrind cost me a total of $465 US, just the regrind alone. And I'm not including shipping in that price. The initial knife cost me $400, so this $465. So really quickly, the story is this. I actually sent Josh a message on IG and I said, hey, you know, I have a Nirvana blade that I want completely reground. I just really want to get rid of the original bead blasted finish. So I was thinking of like a full satin, maybe a high saber grind kind of thing. And so I said, well, I've also seen some of your other work because I know that Josh has done some other nightmare grinds on knives as well. And I said that I've seen this nightmare grind thing and I do not know if it's gonna be feasible if I were to do a nightmare grind. And so he said, you know, he could actually suggest a nightmare grind as well as a different kind of swedge. And I said, you know what, since I'm already going through all that trouble and you're already putting me on your books, I'm just gonna dive all the way in, get into the deep end. And so he said, okay, well, the Nirvana blade is actually like a big, huge canvas that he can do a lot of things with. I sent my blade out and then he took a look at it, did some drawings and said, I have this suggestion. And I was like, wow, I'm totally mind blown. So if you guys have actually seen the original Nirvana blade, you would know that it is nothing like this at all. I'll just put a picture like up here so that you guys can have a reference point. But basically what he's done so far is to completely remove the original bead blasted finish. Then what he did was he put a compound grind on this, which is basically the nightmare grind when you have two different grinds here, as well as a swedge up here, and then he made a dip. So this is kind of like a Bowie style spine now. It's very close to a harpoon style, but I really like it. It's really different from every other nightmare grinds that I've seen him do so far. He still maintained the spider hole, so you guys saw that I was able to deploy the knife with no problem with my middle finger. Look at that symmetry, man. Just look at that symmetry. And everything is finished off satin grind up to 220 grits. And I gotta tell you, this is some amazing work. So you could see that the spine here is just, look at that symmetry. What? Just look at that. That is crazy. My goodness. I'm really happy with this, and I didn't even wait that long. It was like a total of maybe about 3 months. Oh yeah, and sorry, I know there's like a little blemish spot here. That's actually a bit of the packing tape residue. So that basically leads me to another thing that I want to give Josh a shout out for. He really went beyond expectations and he protected this blade very well during shipping back to me. So there was 2 layers of some kind of a clear tape. It was blue in color. I don't know what tape we call it. It's not frog tape, it's not painter's tape, so I'm not so sure. And then it was slipped into a cardboard sleeve that was made specifically for this blade, and he even wrote tip on the side of it where the tip was pointing. Then he wrapped it up in bubble wrap, and I gotta tell you guys, that is just amazing. And I specifically told him I really wanted a RAZOREDGEKNIVES logo, and so he did it here, right there. And this is just like, you know, for me to kind of show off and brag. So now this is like a really beautiful Spyderco Nirvana. It is now just way beyond what I imagined it to be, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I'm so glad that I was able to get on this. So basically what I'm trying to say is that if you guys want your knives to be reground for any reason, maybe reprofiling or just having something new, really consider Josh over at Razor Edge Knives. It's awesome work, very friendly, response was really good, and he even asked me if I was comfortable paying upfront after he received the blade, or would it be better for me as a customer to pay only when work was done. And I'm like, how many people actually offer that option? So I said, you know what, I'm gonna trust you anyway, I'll just pay you upfront. And so yeah, no hassle at all. Communications was really clear. He actually drew out everything, he updated me every step of the way, and we're talking about like via email, via Instagram DM, and even via WhatsApp, because he added me on WhatsApp. Like, what? Because I've seen him show pictures of a Nirvana before. I asked if I could just send the blade, and he said yeah. So look guys, without having the scale, this thing just works. It's amazing the kind of work that he's done. This is just mad. That is nuts. Look, it's gonna fire out with no problem every single time. And I know it's kind of difficult for me to do it in this camera angle because this is almost a 90-degree angle down from the camera lens, but for this kind of quality, this is nuts, man. I really don't regret it. I know that it is expensive, but this was something that I really wanted to splurge on. The fact that I got the Nirvana in the first place was basically a splurge, because, you know, $400 production knife, a lot of people out there just, you know, are cringing at that fact. But I really love the motif here. I just fell in love with this, and you know, I really initially thought, well, okay, I could accept the blade, but after looking at it for a little while more, I was thinking, what if the blade, because it's in steel, what if the blade starts rusting, and then basically it would just, you know, devalue the entire knife. So really, just this grind alone, really happy with it. That symmetry is crazy. This is just amazing. I don't know how he does it, and I just really wanted to share this with you guys. I know it's an expensive thing, but it's something for me to, you know, really take pride in. Oh, by the way, custom deep carry pocket clip courtesy of Pop's Custom Clips. No, he didn't sponsor me, I paid for this, but there we go. That's my logo laser etched in there with a stonewash finish as well, so it matches the entire profile of the blade. He also mentioned that he actually gave this a 15-degree angle grind. So that's, wait, let me see if I have some spare paper laying around. Hold on guys. Okay, so it seems that I did find some paper. It's a torn, scrap piece of paper. I don't know how this is going to be done, because generally people be holding paper up and then gravity's working on the paper. So let's just try and see how this thing goes. So here we go. Let's just see how sharp this 15-degree angle is, and I bet it's going to be pretty damn sharp. Here we go. Okay, I think that's good enough of a demonstration for you guys. Yeah, basically that's about it, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing in this slice of my life. It really is just something that I wanted to show you guys, and also give Josh over at Razor Edge Knives a shout out. From my understanding, it is him and his wife that are running the show, so kudos to you guys, man. Really wonderful service, and really no frills, no problems at all whatsoever. It was really fast and really simple process. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Top-notch work, and definitely when I have another knife that I want reground, I'm gonna be sending it over to you guys, and you already know that. So if you guys like the content that I'm putting out on this channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do subscribe, please make sure that you hit the notification button so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. I'm just doing this so I can show you guys that this thing works perfectly fine. There we go. Also, if you want to support the channel beyond that, I run a Patreon page. I'll put a link up here to the Patreon page, and if you do become a patron, then I would like to say thank you in advance. And basically that is it, everyone. Thank you so much once again, and I will catch all of you in the next slice of my life. And until then, everyone, gaga boost.